Hey guys, it's Omer from MMOs.com, another quick weekly news recap for all major MMO news, and announcements the week ending April 13th, 2020. This is number 240 the recap, and the first of news this week comes from Square Enix regarding Final Fantasy XIV, which launched its 5.25 update titled Save the Queen this last week, which introduces new relic weapons called Resistance Weapons, with new quests and ways to upgrade them, a new extreme difficult trial, new crafter and gathering content, new items, recipes, furnishings, and more. And given that everyone is staying indoors during the coronavirus quarantine, the update is welcome news for the FF14 community. Unfortunately though, just this last weekend, Square Enix announced that the much larger patch 5.3 update, which was scheduled to release in mid-June, is being pushed back a bit due to the newly announced work-from-home orders in Japan. The delay will last anywhere from 2 weeks to 1 month. Progress is still being made on them, but given the situation worldwide, the delay isn't too surprising, and fortunately 2 weeks to 1 month isn't too bad. Up next, more delays due to the coronavirus. This time for Amazon's upcoming survival MMO New World, which has been pushed back from its spring release date to August 25th due to the coronavirus quarantine, which has slowed development down. The game was originally scheduled to release sometime in late May, which has been pushed back into August, which is a pretty big delay. The only positive news here is that the alpha build is still remaining live for those that are in the game's alpha. This is the first real MMO being developed by Amazon Game Studios. They made a game called Breakaway, but it wasn't very successful, so we'll see how New World does when it ends up launching later in August. Also coronavirus related, Elder Scrolls Online's Greymoor update, which was pushed back as well, but the delay isn't too bad. It's pushed back just about a week or so, and is now scheduled to launch later in May. It was originally expected to launch on May 18th on the PC and June 2nd for consoles, so expected about a week from these dates. The Greymoor update is on track to launch on public test realms on April 20th though, so anyone can give the game a try on the PTR. Up next, Google is offering 2 free months of Stadia Pro during the lockdown. All you need is a Gmail account to get started and you can begin playing all the free games on the platform. Stadia is the first mainstream cloud gaming service out there, and although it launched with serious latency issues, it's still a good solution for those gaming on weaker machines or laptops. Now, while cloud gaming will likely never offer better performance than local gaming machines, it's great for those on older PCs or people traveling so they can play on the go. But yeah, 2 free months of Stadia Pro. If you're curious about it, give it a try. Next up, also coronavirus related, although this time a bit more positive. Blizzard announced that so far Blizzcon 2020 November is still a go, meaning that they haven't canceled it or delayed it just yet, but if things are still bad in a couple of months, they can still cancel it. I suspect that this will all be blowing over by November, as it's still about 7 months away. A ton of gaming events have already been canceled or postponed, so it's good to hear BlizzCon is still on. And speaking of Blizzard, World of Warcraft published a Shadowlands dev blog previewing the upcoming Covenant signature and class abilities that players will gain access to when the game's 8th expansion arrives later this year. They also revealed that the game will be getting an entirely revamped new player experience, so instead of beginning their journey from the regional starting zones, new players will start on a shared zone until they reach level 10, after which they'll go up against 2 new bosses in a 5-man mini dungeon. I think it's neat to see Blizzard add new low-level content instead of just adding the usual endgame stuff, so it's kind of cool that they're fixing and revamping the early game experience as well. Next up, Aura Kingdom 2's open beta begins on April 15th, and this is a sequel to the 2014 anime MMORPG Aura Kingdom on the PC. Unfortunately though, this isn't a PC MMORPG, it's a mobile game. I actually like the PC version, and Aura Kingdom is actually still up to date, so if you never played it, it's not bad at all and worth trying. I suspect though this mobile version will play a lot like other Asian mobile MMORPGs, and will likely feature autoplay elements as well. So I can say I'm not too hyped for it personally, but I might give it a try just because it's Aura Kingdom. Moving right along, Legends of Runeterra, the collectible card game from Riot Games, is officially launching on April 30th for both PC and mobile. It's been available already for some time in open beta, but this will be the first time it'll be launching officially. The launch patch, which is 1.0, will introduce more than 120 new cards, a new region, and the start of the game's first ranked season. In other Riot news, Valorant's closed beta is up and running, although it did launch with its fair share of bugs, which are slowly getting addressed. I've played a few rounds already, and it's not bad. It's basically CSGO with some hero shooter elements, but much more like CSGO than any other hero shooter out there, as players die as quickly as they do in a game like CSGO. Up next, Tera launched its PvP-focused Kaya's War update this last week, which made some much-needed changes to the game's PvP. Across the board, PvP rewards have been improved to better bring them in line with PvE gear progression. Now, Battlegrounds have increased their drop rates and reduced prices for enchanting gear as well. The rewards for Guild vs. Guild Civil Unrest mode have also been drastically increased. There's also been new leaderboard rewards in Shore's Hold and Corsair Stronghold, and it's good to see them finally revamping the PvP rewards, as oftentimes when PvP is kind of neglected and is not the focus of the game, the rewards quickly become irrelevant, so it's good to see them kind of going back and fixing all the PvP rewards and making them somewhat more relevant now. Next up, Missangsoft showed us some progress on their RaiderZ reboot. Yeah, RaiderZ, the action MMORPG was shut down in 2015, is relaunching through its developer, Missangsoft. Unfortunately, we don't have any kind of release date just yet, or any kind of estimates, but this video shows off some of the progress in the game's development, or rather redevelopment, as it's not a new game. New features include improvement to basic combat and a skill socket system. I never got to RaiderZ myself when it was around back in the day, but I guess there's enough demand out there for them to warrant relaunching or redeveloping it. But honestly, Missangsoft just remake Guns to Duel, because they ended up buying Maya, the developers of Guns. I'd rather see a remake of Guns to Duel personally. I've been playing on private servers, and the game is still fun. Next and last bit of news this week comes from AdventureQuest 3D. Yep, the game is still up and running and launches the latest expansion, the Heartwood Forest Saga, which increased the game's level cap for all players to 30. It adds new monsters, quests, craftable items, and more. AdventureQuest 3D is one of the few truly multi-platform MMOs out there, as it's available on PC and mobile. On Steam alone, the game averages a bit over 500 players online at any given time, so it definitely has a decent amount of players. Anyway guys, that's it for MMO news this week. I'll see you guys next week. Later guys.